There is a boss.
Here we
Speaking
have
of visual
Blackjaw,
detail,
former
lovely.
overseer of the Mechanarium.
Looks amazing.
When the Val fell, he was turned to stone and now guards the area.
Spoiler alert, everyone.
In order to take down this boss, we're going to need all the tools on the Monk's arsenal, especially the combo of Freeze and Glacial Cascade. Now, if you're a PoE 1 player, you might think you can't rely on Freeze because there's so many bosses that are immune to it.
Yes.
But in PoE 2, that's changing significantly. In PoE 1, Freeze is a binary mechanic. An attack freezes the target, or it doesn't. What this basically means is that in PoE 1, we were forced to add freeze immunity to many bosses because freeze just trivialized them. Because of that, freezing was something you could only really rely on while pack clearing, and not something you could use as a core part of your build for boss fighting.
His boss is
In
cool.
PoE 2, though, all crowd control mechanics now have internal meters that allow you to build up to a freeze or stun, or whatever other CC mechanic that you're using. It's a little bit like poise from games like Elden Ring, though the meters tend to be a lot smaller than those games. When you freeze an enemy, it increases the amount of freeze you need to do to get another freeze, but the increased difficulty bleeds away slowly. More freeze will always let you freeze the boss more often, but this system means that it will not get out of control in party play or interact badly with other CC mechanics, allowing us to let these kinds of mechanics actually work against all bosses.
I love the animation, and I love the detail of the fire and all this kind of stuff. So that's and I know we kind of take it for granted these days. Like Diablo 4 obviously set a very high bar as far as visuals are concerned, but because this world is by definition much richer, I am just looking forward to it so much. And again, I'll just repeat myself here. It does look like each boss fight turns into a proper boss fight as opposed to just a raffle stomp kind of thing, because take a look at how much effort it takes this poor monk to dance around this guy. And I'm not saying that it should be a raffle stomp like it is very often, more often than not in Path of Exile 1, but this is more like a Cyrus fight. This is more like something from high-end game rather than just a generic dungeon. It looks like a... Oh yeah, he's dead. He's dead. This just tells you how hard it is compared to PoE 1. Good on the boss, he deserves the win, he tried hard, right?
Just take it.
Alright, here we are at another massive boss fight of PoE 2. Let's see what this works
Don't die
like.
this time, guys.
Sorceress and Monk together, double team on the boss.
Frozen? Nice.
Looks amazing. Looks amazing, slightly laggy stream, apologies. But first time we're watching this ever.
Get away from the wall. Oh god. Frozen, no? Good.
Frozen, nice.
Definitely feels like a massive battle, both in terms of detail and in terms of like the need to dodge and the need to do other stuff. We have another clip that details the dungeon boss. Not this kind of guy, but like another one. Which, who knows, I might release together as one little clip together to give you an idea of both bosses, so that you can see what a single boss works like and my early concerns about them, and then what it looks like as a team. This looks more fun than the first boss, for sure, definitely. It's also cool that you can freeze bosses. That's also very, very cool to point out. The only one concern I still remains for me as the main thing is the fact that you do have to dodge a lot.
All skill.
And that's not a tier 16 map where that would be kind of to be expected, but in here, in just a dungeon, that seems like a lot.
Nice. Frozen.
Certainly looks a lot quicker and a lot better with 2 players on the field rather than the first one, as the first boss recording was.
Good job, get away.
Doing it alone definitely was much harder.
Get away from him, get away, get away. Triangle. Oh, whoa. Charlie. Nice.
Awesome. I liked it. I hope so did you. Please give this little clip a like and watch other best bits of
So
Path of
that's part
Exile
of
2.
Exile.
Let's watch take 2 without me being on the screen. So here is a general dungeon boss example in Path of Exile 2, which tells us that you kinda have to dance around these bosses, sort of similar to what Diablo 4 has taught us. In Diablo 4 also, unless you're completely overpowered, you cannot really ruffle stomp anything really, and in this particular case, I think unless you are in tier 14, tier 16 maps, you're not used to having to dance around things, and we certainly don't do anywhere near as much dodging of attacks other than something very, very openly telegraphed and some bolts flying through and all this kind of stuff. But mainly in PoE 1, any of the dodging mechanics are literally just running, right? You run around, you try to time your movements, you try to not step somewhere, you try to get out of the way of some obvious mechanic. Here the guy is like big time dodging, rolling and that kind of stuff. And that is what I discussed in the previous kind of section of the general commentary of the gameplay that preceded this. I already shared my opinion that it's a lot of busy work. I'm sorry I am repeating myself, but this is live commentary and this is what is on my mind. So I thought I'm gonna bring this clip to you and just show to you live as far as it was recorded and as far as my reaction goes, in terms of what slightly concerns me about Path of Exile 2, because it slows down gameplay massively if even something that is supposed to be a relatively trivial boss at the end of some just questline dungeon is making a developer suffer so much, at least on this particular monk character. Of course, this will be also the positive of it, is that it will be probably there will be a sense of achievement a lot more from each one of these progressions, but it will slow down your gameplay and progression massively. You're not going to be doing what you used to, like speed running kind of stuff, speed leveling, and not even noticing these little bosses, so to speak. So again, maybe it's a good thing. Let me know in the comments down below if you think it's a good thing, if you think this is an improvement. But overall, for me, I have mixed feelings about it. I do have mixed feelings about it. I absolutely adore the new graphics. I love this boss visually. I love the fire. Monk looks like too much busy work. Like, it certainly is not going to be my first class, at least, to try in Path of Exile 2 by any stretch of imagination from what I've seen so far. Yeah, and it's a lot of rolling around. All I can say is it's a lot of rolling around. Too much rolling around. Big time too much rolling around. And a long fight as well, a long fight. And this is not, again, this is not a tier 16 Cyrus or Maven even a map of some sort. It's, yeah, I'm sure he's gonna get it this time. Oh, he almost died again. He almost died again. He almost died again. He died first time. This is quite fun to watch very first time. Like, I know the video is edited afterwards, but reaction is recorded live. This is crazy. I'm sure everyone is gonna cheer. Let's keep our fingers crossed for the poor dev.
So go, there you go, there you go.
After this.
No. Get him. Okay. All right.
There he goes. There he goes. Applause from all of us as well. Let me know what you thought, my friends. Let me know what you thought, my friends. And stay tuned for other clips from the official reveal with my reaction.